What's going on, everybody? This is Money Matt and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys my best overall team, which is the team that I use the most, and obviously it's the best team that I have. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you could leave a like and also subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated, and comment different videos that you would like to see as well. So, like I said, this team that I have, it's the best team that I can put together, the best team, all the best cards that in my collection. And yeah, so I have, as you can see, 7 pink diamonds and a couple really good like diamonds and amethysts. I don't have any galaxy opals yet because those are pretty expensive, but yeah, I use a 9 or a 10-man rotation actually, so that's, and Giannis, basically I don't actually use him that much, but just in case someone, you know, has a super tall guy that they're playing at the point guard position, then I use him to defend them. So the first card that we're going to look at that I actually use is this Ruby Jonathan Isaac. As you guys saw, 99 on defense, 4 super good Hall of Fame badges, and this is just a budget card that's really good. 6'10". I know a lot of people like to use him at the point. As you guys can see, he's got an 85 3, 85 mid-range, which are really good. Also 95s for both of his driving and contact dunk, and he can speed boost, as you see, which is why a lot of people like to use him at the point. And those defensive stats, 92, 95, and 92, all really good. He's a very athletic card, he's got good IQ, which is pretty important as well, and like I said, 6'10", so that's why I like that card. And this is one of the oldest cards that I still have on my team. This is Amethyst Kristaps Porzingis. Now there's currently not only a diamond but also a pink diamond, and I haven't gotten enough MT to get both of those yet, but this card is still super good. 90 mid-range, 93, and he's also not the highest block, but just because of that 7'3" and like massive wingspan that he has, he gets a lot of blocks for me. And he's also really good to shoot because he just shoots right over people. Next, we'll be going on to my first pink diamond, which is Victor Oladipo. He's got 9 Hall of Fame badges, including obviously a bunch of the really good defensive badges, as he is a 99 overall on defense. You can see that he has a 95 open shot mid-range, 92 open shot 3, 95s in his dunks, and he can also speed boost, and also a 97 steal, which is, I really like that because even if he's not the tallest person, I think he's like 6'3" or 6'4"-ish. Yeah, he's 6'4". Even though he's kind of small, defensive point guards are still some of the better ones to use when you're playing against guys who are playing like small forwards like Giannis or someone like that at the point, because they're really effective, and yeah, that's why I like running him at the point. And for Paul George, he has a 97 open shot mid-range and also a 94 open shot 3. Obviously that's with the shoe, and with the coach boost he gets basically a 99, which is really good for the card. He can speed boost, and he's got really good defense, as you can see. But one of the big things that I love about this card is that his post fadeaway is super good. So when I was going into triple threat, and if I couldn't score, I would just do a post fade with him, and it's super effective. Next we have our second pink diamond, which is Pascal Siakam. He's got 10 Hall of Fame badges, a lot of good defensive badges, actually quite a few really good shooting badges, and some finishing badges as well. He's got 94 mid-range, 94 3, which is super good. With your coach, those will both go up to pretty much 99 depending on which coach you use. He's got really good rebounding, and the reason that I like this card is obviously he can shoot, but he also does everything else that I like about a power forward. I like my power forwards to be someone like Blake Griffin, who I obviously have in my starting lineup. And Pascal Siakam is very similar to Blake Griffin, as in he's very athletic. He can shoot, not the best shooter I would say, because his release isn't great, but he's got still pretty good shooting stats, and he can also rebound really well, and is athletic as well. So that's what I would suggest if you guys are kind of unsure of who to get at the power forward. Those are kind of the main things I look for. As you can see, Blake Griffin, kind of a similar player, you know. He may not be the best defensively, but that's kind of what I look for in my centers, is more of a defensive type of player. And so, yeah, that's why I use Blake Griffin and Pascal Siakam. So the next card we'll be looking at is the Jimmer Fredette. He's got 10 Hall of Fame badges, all the really good shooting badges that you got, and that's basically what I really like about this card. He's an incredible shooter, and even though he's kind of undersized, he makes up for it just because of like his incredible dribble moves and also his good shooting with his good shooting badges. And he's pretty athletic as well, which is kind of surprising because I didn't remember Jimmer Fredette as being a really athletic player. But anyways, we move on to Scottie Pippen, and he has 8 Hall of Fame badges. Of course, I did make a video on the Diamond Scottie Pippen and how good he was, but I also made a video about the new locker codes, and one of those locker codes was for this pink diamond Scottie Pippen. So because of that, I think he'll be really cheap, and this is a really good card. I like the diamond Scottie Pippen, I like the pink diamond Scottie Pippen even more, because he's just, if you want him to be a slasher, he can be a slasher. He's kind of like Paul George. He's kind of that glue guy. He can shoot decently. You probably don't want him as your number one go-to scorer, but he can shoot well enough. And he's just really good defensively, really good slasher as well. And here's one of my favorite cards on my team, and I think he's one of the best cards in all of my team. It's the pink diamond DeMarcus Cousins. And I actually pulled this card, and so I don't know, I just like cards a little bit more when I pull them by myself. He's got really good mid-range, really good 3, and although his ball control isn't the best, he has some of the most amazing dribble moves, especially for a center, and he's really good on defense, really good rebounder as well. So, and he's also super fast, which is really helpful. And yeah, a lot of people talk about how he's one of the best centers in the game, and he's really cheap. I think he was going for around 60k for a while. And yeah, so now we move on to the last card, which is pink diamond Danny Granger. As you guys know, if you played this game, Danny Granger was a really good card for his diamond, and people don't use his pink diamond as much just because there's so many other good cards, but I still love this card. It's a base 11, and he's really good in especially offline triple threat. If you're still trying to do that, you can just get super easy threes, and even if you're playing online triple threat or in a game, his release is super quick, and that's one of the things I like about him. So yeah, this is my team, and yeah, so now I will show you guys kind of what I like about the card, and also their hot zones, I mean, and their release and stuff like that. So, like I said, this Jonathan Isaac kind of more of a defensive card, at least personally. That's how I kind of use him. But yeah, he's still super good. He's got a definitely not the best shot release, but I do like that moving shot that he has, and yeah, his release, his regular release is pretty good too, and yeah, I kind of use him more as a defensive guy, as I said, but he can also be really good on offense. Now for Porzingis, it's kind of the opposite. I use him a lot as a kind of pick and fade type of player. His release, as you can see, not only is he 7'3", but he shoots over his head, which is super effective, and it's really difficult to get a shot contest when there's someone who's 7'3" and they're shooting above their head as well. So that's one of the things I know a lot of other people think about this card, and that's kind of what I use that card for. So that's basically why Porzingis is in my lineup. And most of these cards are, I think all these cards now are under 100k. So if you're like, oh, that looks like a super good card, I don't know if I have enough MT, chances are you may, or you probably will have enough MT. Now, like I said, Victor Oladipo, again, a little bit of a defensive card, as defense is pretty important for me, especially at like shooting guard or point guard for players on my team. But I still love, he has really good slashing ability, and his shot is really good as well. He's kind of an all-around player, kind of like Paul George, like I talked about before, and Scottie Pippen. And yeah, I like his release, it's pretty good. And his fadeaway right there, that's a really good fadeaway. It's kind of like Paul George's fadeaway. So yeah, I really like that about the card. It's pretty easy to green a fadeaway, and like I said, that's one of the things I look for. And next, we'll be going with Paul George, who, I mean, he may not be the best in other people's mind, but in my mind, I think he has probably my favorite fadeaway in the game. Obviously, he can play really good defense. He's he's a really good shooter. Like I keep saying, a lot of these guys are kind of glue guys, and then I'll have one or two players that I like to use to score. As you can see, his fadeaway isn't the best, but it's still possible to get a green light on it. He's a really good slasher. I believe, depending on what shoe you have, he's got a slashing takeover, and there you can see that's that post fade that I'm talking about. He gets a ton of space because he just falls really far back, and I find it pretty easy to get a green light on that release as well. So next we move on to Pascal Siakam, another one of those guys who's kind of just in there for like rebounding, and if I need to get a fast break bucket, because he runs the floor really well, and he's got good slashing, good layups, good dunks and stuff like that. But like I said, he can also shoot pretty well as well. As you can see, definitely not even close to one of the best releases, but if you get used to it, then it's kind of one of those releases, like I have a lot of those in my lineup where it's not a great release, but if you get used to it, then it can be super good and easy to get green lights on it. So yeah, I think Pascal Siakam's one of those cards that it definitely takes some getting used to, but if you do get used to it, then it's a good release. Guys, like I said, could leave a like and also subscribe. That would help me out a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys want me to do another video, just like I said, let me know and I'll get that out to you. Have a great day and peace.